Yeah, I will. I'm just trying to find it in here.
Yeah, I'm ready now.
You didn't hear from Judy till?
Nope.
So which one's the bathroom?
I know there's a gentleman who did that.
Okay, so so Bob, you'll be voting. Okay, would you please sit in as a regular?
Have we got enough?
With you, we do.
If you sit in, we do. Good thing you came. The time is now 6:30, and I'm gonna call the regular Tuesday, October 9th, 2012, meeting of the Tilton Planning Board to order. And our first case was TLC Jewelry. That has been canceled. There was discussion on signage, and that was settled beforehand, so we're not going to be hearing that tonight. So our next case is Planning Board Case 1211, site plan review for auto sales lot. The property is located at 216 Laconia Road in Tilton in the Regional Commercial District. And John, let me just, I don't know whether everybody knows where it is or not. It's the little blue house on the same side as Tanger Outlet that's right across from that,
Trailer cap.
truck cat place.
Right.
Right along in there. Okay, so John, with no more discussion, I think I'll turn it over to you.
Are you gonna?
Oh, I gotta look at the, jeez, I'm sorry.
You're doing the minutes for last
No,
meeting?
we're
We
doing
do that
those
now
last.
I'll
later.
do them later.
Oh, okay.
All right, I looked at everything tonight. I was very prepared and looked through everything tonight, so that's why I'm forgetting everything.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
Good.
Talk to yourself.
Did you sign it?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe if I spread this out.
Over here.
Yeah.
Straight up to it.
Okay. It looks like everything is complete to me.
I'll make a motion to accept the application as it appears to be substantially complete.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now,
Good evening, folks. For the record, my name is John Bernard, and I'm planning to develop 216 as a car lot. It will be an extension of Winnisquam Auto. It's comprised of approximately 21,000 square feet. In this particular zone, you're allowed to have coverage up to 75%. I believe we're at about 66. The driveway is already existing and paved. It's been through DOT. Last time I had called, they said that they were waiting for it to be signed, but there was no problems. I don't know if it's been received by the town or not.
I can't remember, John.
If not, it's soon coming, no problem. It has a two-story old-style farmhouse on it and a garage on it, which is a two-bay garage. Oh, sorry. I had hired the Turner Group to do the engineering and to do the calculations for drainage. They've created that settlement pond back in here for the water to drain down to go here. It's a very level lot if you look at the topos. They don't vary very much at all. It's maybe a 4-foot drop or 6-foot drop over the whole property. I've also gone out and had the wetland scientist, Randall Shuey, all kinds of credentials, gone out and had walked the lot and determined that there are no wetlands on the property or within 20 feet of the boundaries. I have a few questions myself regarding this because of the way this lot is being developed, and I'm sure they're going to come out as time goes on, but that's my opening statement.
Okay. First of all, you're showing the incorrect setbacks on your plan. It's not 20 feet on the sides, it's 50 feet on the sides and 20 in the rear.
Okay.
So that will have to be corrected, and it could very well, I don't know, it might alter what you want to do, I don't know.
Could I just have a comment on that?
Yeah.
We're not doing anything within the setbacks that require any kind of permits or zoning, so I don't know how that would, certainly I'll have them changed.
Well, it's gonna be, it has to be changed obviously, because
Right.
it doesn't go along with our current zoning. The other thing is, on your plan here,
They have this, can we just, not
Yep.
just before, it looks like they have a 50-foot setback here
yes, and
And
then
what
it's
should it
20
be?
on, it should be 20 in the back.
and 50
and
in the
50
front.
50 on
On
the
the
side.
side.
On
On
the
the
sides?
sides,
yeah.
Oh, and okay, and how about the front? What's
The front's fine.
Okay, so,
It's 30, 50, 20.
okay, that's fine. And again, is there anything that on this plan, because there's nothing being built on the lot that requires setbacks?
You're putting pavement in.
And that requires,
Well, I'm just saying, if you're going to be paving in the setback area, then that will require something from the ZBA.
okay, so I'll need to go for variance for that. Very good.
Okay, the other thing is, on your, have you sent anything or contacted the Conservation Commission at all about this lot?
I have not, I hadn't. no.
You have a huge conservation easement right behind this lot.
Okay,
And your drainage plan, which I thought was very good.
thank you.
But you are allowing for the water to overflow that pond and, you know, go on behind you. And with all the pavement that you're looking at entering, you know, on the pavement, on the lot, that could mean that there could be considerably more water running into the conservation easement area. because that whole area behind you, I brought a copy if you don't have it, of the conservation easement itself.
Is that, now there's a house right directly behind this too.
There is,
And is that house part of that
it's a
conservation?
22-acre piece.
Yeah,
And right there around the house, they've created a little round with a driveway going right beside your property. That is not part of the conservation, but everything around it is.
right, that property in the beginning was probably part of the Home Depot, I guess, at that point. Is that correct?
Well, it was part of all the properties that were bought up when the Home Depot and that subdivision was being done. And that particular part, there's a lot of wetlands, and in fact, I went and looked at your lot, and if you walk back, probably about 50 feet beyond your property, maybe not quite, there's actually a stream that runs through there. And, you know, it's quite active. There were a lot of ducks in it. I was surprised,
Okay,
you know, as you go. So all I'm saying is, this is gonna have to be looked at by the Conservation Commission. Now,
by all means, I'm having a look at it, I don't understand if I'm not within the 20-foot jurisdictional wetback, how you can extend it.
oh, I'm not saying that you are, but you are going to have, your pond is designed to allow so much water to overflow and run
Right.
off the back of the property, and at this point, I noticed that the whole lot, except for the actual driveway, was all grass and greenery, so that whatever would fall in natural rain would be absorbed into the ground. But now you're talking about putting a lot of pavement on this property, which is going to increase the amount of runoff that you're going to get. And your topo, like you said, it's not really great, but it does run from front and it steadily goes downhill, especially to that side of the property, it seems like. You know, and so the water is going to continue flowing right into the area behind you.
And they may question the fact that you had, this is for a 10-year rainfall, because they questioned that in other things that they've done recently.
So all I'm
So
saying
I
is,
think that's
because
something
of
you
the
need to look at.
easement, you know, you will need to
Well,
have.
that easement was really more of a function because of all the other property was developed, that property was wet, and so they put it into it.
Yes, it is mostly wet, but there's also some uplands on it as well, but it was an easement that was designed. So, the other notes that I made after going over your stuff was, you're not showing us on your site plan at all, where is your, lot for the cars you're selling, and where is your customer parking going to be?
The customer parking would be down in here, and the
Okay.
lot where cars would be selling is all this area in here,
Okay,
and here.
right. And I'm seeing that you're talking about only a 5-foot easement on the sides going around?
Yes,
Well, on this side over here especially, you have someone that lives in the house, you know.
right, and there's a huge barrier of trees between here and there, and I've had several conversations with her. And again, keeping in mind with the master plan that this is to be developed as commercial property.
Right.
So this is keeping in with what the town wants to have happen in there.
What you're proposing to do there, I have absolutely no problem with it. It's a permitted use. The only thing that I'm looking at is the fact that, first of all, you're obliterating the setbacks for the property. And understandably so, but I can't, we're not talking about parking cars there that are temporarily there, like visiting your site,
Right.
like you were with your other one.
Right.
This is part of your business
Yes.
that's going to always be there, so
Right.
it's not a temporary thing.
Absolutely.
So this is one of the things that I feel that you'll need to go to the ZBA for, both the fact that you're carrying the pavement over that far, plus you're going to have stationary. This is not a parking lot for customers. This is your business. This is your
Correct.
merchandise out
Right.
there.
That's right.
And it's always going to be there. If
Right.
something sells, it'll be replaced by something else. So in that particular case, I feel it is a variance. I am aware of the attorney's
Right.
opinion,
Yeah.
and I did read it, but I don't think that it encompasses a permanent thing such
Well,
as this.
The only thing I would say in rebuttal of that, I've already gone through this, I've already gone to the ZBA, and I
Yes.
have it in writing that the determination from the ZBA that you are allowed to park in the setbacks.
Yes, but not on, you're allowed to park in the setbacks for your customer parking. I thought the whole thing was presented, and according to the attorney letter I read, that yes, on a temporary, customer parking is thought of as like a temporary thing. They come and go all day long. I mean, it's a parking lot, but it's not like they're there all day long, correct? When you have,
Oh, I'm following you, I'm trying to,
but this is
trying to
actually
determine the-
going to be your business. It's not
Yes.
really a parking lot, it's a sales lot.
okay,
It's not a parking lot.
all right.
So, and parking cars in a parking lot and having a sales lot are not the same thing.
Okay, I guess at that point, we just disagree with that, because
Well,
I,
that's fine.
yeah, I'm saying as, I've gone and spent the money for the attorneys,
Yes.
and I've gone in front of the ZBA, and the ZBA determined,
Right.
and the attorney that the town hired determined also, you can park within your setback. And it actually goes,
Well, I
That's
didn't
not
say
what
any-
she's saying, John.
That's not what I'm
what
saying.
she's saying at all.
I'm
I
telling
understand
you.
the difference, I just disagree with it,
Okay,
that's all.
all
But
right.
we can
Okay.
move on,
Yep.
okay, I mean, I don't need to get hung up on that
Okay.
one.
All right.
All right, what else we got?
Okay, and that was, that and just the fact that you have none of your parking areas or your lot, it's not defined. You're not showing
Right.
anywhere where you're parking or anything, and that is part of the site plan.
Okay, that's interesting, and because I've run a car business for so many
Yeah.
years, you can show where the cars are gonna be parked,
Mm-hmm.
but if you go up and down the road, no one parks that way all the time. You change the angles, you do different things
Oh,
to,
I understand that, but to give us some kind of a general idea,
Okay,
I
so
mean,
you
right
would
now,
like-
you could, have them from the front all the way down. We still need to know that you need to have some open areas
Okay.
there.
I gotta start making some notes.
Okay. Okay, and also you're showing your snow storage right at the rear of the property, which is
Right.
going to let that snow melt and run into the conservation
Conservation.
easement.
No, this will all be tapered to go into here,
Mm,
into your settlement pond first.
yeah,
And the soils out there too, particularly very, very well drained.
yeah,
So it's a gravel sandy soil.
yep,
I think that, we'll get into the engineers and let them determine how much it is,
mhm,
because it's beyond my ability to comprehend what a 10-year or 25-year runoff is. But I think that we'll all be pleasantly surprised at how much the ground out there will absorb the water, because it is all gravel, sandy type of fill.
yeah,
Again, this was determined, and you say it's for a 10-year storm, was determined to be able to handle the coverage that we have. And we didn't even maximize the coverage, we got close, but we didn't go. I mean, we could have
Yeah.
tried to get some more, but we didn't.
right.
It's funny, they got the setbacks here, I don't know maximum height. He's got the setbacks correct on here, but he didn't put them correctly on here, is that right? Oh, he should have had those on the side, yeah, I see it now.
No, they're
Okay.
not correct.
Yeah, setback's not correct, got it.
And you know where those are not correct, right, John?
I do, I get it,
All right.
yeah, they have all the numbers, but they just not have them in the right place.
Right,
They should have 50-foot setbacks on the sides, which,
right.
okay.
And as far as the question you asked, if you look in our chart of permitted uses and you go down the RG section, residential use is not a permitted use in that zone.
I
They
understand.
were grandfathered to be there because they were there, but it has been the practice, once it becomes commercial, then you can't have.
Right, so I had that house rented out up until about 2 months ago when I decided to move forward with this.
Right.
And the tenant had moved out voluntarily,
Right.
he moved on to another thing. My question is this, if we keep that house as residential, can it stay as residential?
Because it's not a permitted use once it's commercial.
Now, if his tenant moved out 2 months ago and he puts in another tenant next week, he can put in another tenant next week.
He could, as long as he doesn't change the use of the property.
You can't have
It
a
was-
property split?
It's too small, how are you gonna split?
Well, part of it would be, the house would be residential and, this is what the situation is. I mean, I'll just tell you the reality
Yeah.
of what it was. I have somebody who would go and work there, they would also live there at the same time. It's much like Jagir, or however you pronounce it, they do the same thing.
Wouldn't that be more, and it may be a permitted use, if you have someone living there that's working, similar to what we have with,
Mycott. Mycott.
well, I wasn't thinking of him so much as the U-Haul place.
Oh yeah, they do the same thing,
They
they
put a
live
home
behind
there,
it. Right.
and he is a caretaker and a manager of the
Yeah.
building. I was just going to look and see
That was a question, I didn't know the answer
if
to it,
this
that's why I
was
didn't rent it
permitted
back
in
out.
that district. All right. Automotive, restaurants, industrial. Okay, accessory uses.
Well, nice to see everybody again, if I haven't got that out of the way.
Parking.
Thank you.
Dwelling unit for residential caretaker or security personnel. NRG, no, sorry. It's N.
Not allowed, so you're allowed to get,
Not permitted.
not permitted, you're allowed to get a variance for that?
Well, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that one.
Okay.
Anyone is, I would never say to anyone, don't get a variance.
Right, I
Or
understand what
don't
you're
try
saying.
and get a variance.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay?
So basically, when any of those properties get to, it's the same situation as Ray. He lives in his house and he has a commercial business out of it.
But it was there before the zoning
Ray's
changed.
been there that long?
Yes.
Yeah.
What are the limits on lot size where he is?
His grandfather.
It's grandfathered to be that size.
Okay.
Is it allowed, what is it? I don't know what the zoning,
It's 1 acre, I believe.
with city water and storage?
Well, I think that particular zone, hang on a second.
Not that, I was just curious, I'm sorry to make you do more work than you need to,
No.
but.
Hey. ARG is 1 acre with sewer, or 1 acre without, and 2 acres for backland.
So there's probably 5 or 6 lots in the whole town that are gonna fall into this category.
Right,
And this one, the one across the street.
yep. And I know some of the ones near you have been bought up by the same individual, as they.
Yeah, the same guy who owns the house out back there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I have no clue as to if he's planning to do something with them.
I don't know,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
One of them had a plan to come in one time and then that got canceled earlier this year, I think.
So that's interesting, huh? You have to close down that house, or tear it down or something. You don't have to tear it down, but
Well, you could
use
use
it
it
for
as
an
an
office.
office.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
You have to change the color. Baby blue, I don't like that.
I'll make a note. So, again, in talking about the rain being absorbed or running down, the settlement pond is supposed to be able to handle a 10-year storm. But, I don't,
I'm not sure the Conservation Commission will accept that, is the only thing.
I'm not sure they have, I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't think they have any jurisdiction. I don't have any wetlands on my property.
I understand that, but they are the ones that are in charge and making sure that, you could send it to them, they're meeting in 2 weeks.
I'll put a copy in
Yeah.
their folder.
Yeah, I'll go and talk to them.
Maybe not, but with the easement being there and the fact that where your pond is and everything and the way you have your snow storage back there, I think you've at least got to run it by them.
Yeah, I'll do that. I just don't understand how their jurisdiction keeps extending. Now, their jurisdiction is.
No, it's not extending. If the conservation easement weren't back there, I would not say a word.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue with you, it's fine.
Does anybody have anything else?
Just that I don't really see where the pavement is that we're talking about.
It's, I'll draw it out better, but this is where I'm gonna follow this thing, everything within that zone. Maybe it's easy for me to say everything that isn't with it, but this is all paved.
No, isn't that
It's like a little island that you're gonna have there in the entrance.
pavement on the
No, not on this particular lot. In this particular zone, according to the master plan for the town, is a commercial designated district. So they allow up to 75%.
And that's only 66,
That's right. So I'm less than what you could do. But this is what works for me, and it's.
Is this an island then?
Where's the island? I'm kind
No,
of.
is this right here in the midst? Is that
This
like,
is
yeah,
that's grass.
okay.
That's a swale, and then this is all grass through here. This is all grass through here. Someday this will probably be all grass, huh?
Where is this, Jack?
The garage is right here.
Yep.
The shed's torn, is gonna be removed.
I know, but where is it right
It
now?
would be right here.
Is the garage gonna be removed?
No, the garage will be basically you know,
So you're
The office
saying
right
the
now,
pavement-
that's what,
really
The
what
pavement
we're
area
trying to
is something in the neighborhood of 60 to 70.
Well, the whole lot coverage, including the buildings, is 66% of lot coverage. You're allowed 75% in this particular district.
That's what I was,
Yeah. And
now
that's
is
on
this
the
going to
plan.
be selling only, John?
Yes, there'll be no repairs to be done there. And when I go through this process, I have to go through the state, and the state has me sign a contract that all cars will be inspected at an inspection facility, which is my other place. It would be a far stretch to make that garage into an inspection facility. It's not, I mean, I have one, I don't need another one. What I need is expansion. I run out of room, especially in the winter I run out of room. And not so much because of snow, but that's just how the business works. You buy more cars in the winter. So this is kind of an overflow area.
this
that I
is
need.
essentially a sales facility.
It is, exactly what it would be. Car lot sales
Will
facility.
be staffed.
It has to be staffed 37.5 hours according to the state.
And that's what you were planning to use the house for?
Yeah, actually, the house was really gonna be used as a residential thing, and we're gonna use this for the office, but now that I've heard the opinion of what I have to do with it, I'll probably make this into the office and not bother really doing too much of that. I was gonna insulate that and heat it. Probably won't do much with that. I'll just leave it as cold storage, because this is already insulated, heated, has all the stuff that I need. This has a power to it now, which is separate from the house. It has its own power. This used to be Jack Willie's old residence, for the ones that know Jack Willie. He had a commercial operation in here. There's actually an elevator in this garage. It's an exterior one that goes out, and electrical goes up, picks up a pallet and brings it inside. Kind of works off of a trolley system, but it's been a commercial building before, and you know, so this was a commercial facility at one time, and they did live in here at the same time. I believe that was his mother's house, from what I understand.
Yes, it was.
So I do have some precedent regarding that. I don't know if they feel about this, but I don't know if that means anything. If it was done that way prior to zoning, can you continue to do that?
You're gonna do exactly the same thing Jack Willie did?
I'm not doing Jack Willie's thing, absolutely not. No,
It's
you're
not
right.
the
So you
same
got me,
thing.
you're
It's
right,
not
you
the
got me
same
on that
thing.
one. Okay, I'm just thinking that's, they were
Trying.
trying to it,
I know, the wheels are always
Yeah.
turning up there.
trying.
All right, when is our next meeting?
November 13th. And they can continue at 7 PM.
November 13th? And that will give you the opportunity,
Talk to the conservation
yes, they're
commission.
meeting in
Third Monday.
third Monday,
Third
so
Monday,
that would
yes.
be 1 to the 15th? Now. I thought,
Wait, let me get my,
have you got your,
Well, the calendar's right there,
So,
I think.
am I also,
this,
It's the third
this
Monday.
says Monday. This is, according to this, a meeting on the 15th.
today's what, the 10th?
Yeah?
5 days, meeting Saturday?
No, today's the
15th
ninth.
is Monday,
The
Today's the
15th
ninth.
would be a Monday of October.
yeah. Today is the 9th, yes.
Okay, that was the
yeah,
10th.
and that is the third Monday, the 15th.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, the way it falls, huh? Okay. So Monday, Conservation Commission.
but anyway, you can get Eliza's number from, or you can call.
I can contact her and see if
I
they
thought
can
I
join
had
the
no
schedule.
wetlands, I thought this was gonna be an easy one.
Oh, no,
I can never figure it.
Well, it
I
may
know you
be,
don't
but
have
we,
wetlands.
it may be, but we don't wanna take any chances with it, okay?
And
Yeah, no, I
don't
get
wanna-
it, I'm just saying.
And I don't wanna cause grief for you later on,
Right,
so.
might as well have the brief right up front.
It's free.
Okay, so we have setbacks as a problem, we have,
Show your, you know, show.
Conservation Commission,
Yep,
and it's a 10-year storm, they might want more.
well, I know
Well,
you do
you
show a
might
couple
wanna look
others.
into that.
Oh, there's
You
other
have
storms
some
shown
others.
on that too?
Yeah,
Yes,
there's
you
a
have a
50-year one
2-year,
one
10-year,
place.
25, and a 50.
Yeah,
Oh, so was that designed for 50, is that what it says?
Well, that's what they're showing
Oh,
us,
so
yes.
yeah, okay, so that's normal.
It says, it does say in here, the pond completely contains and infiltrates the runoff from rainfall events up through and including the 25-year storm.
Oh, that's
During the
normal.
50 and 100-year storms, there is a relatively small volume of runoff that will discharge through the emergency spillway, flowing northeasterly and dispersing through the wooded terrain where it will quickly filter into the soil. And they're saying that in a 50-year storm, you're going to have 5.5 inches of rain, and it looks like the spillway discharge is 0.18 CFS. And I didn't bring my piece of paper, I did look that up to see how much water that was.
No, what you do is open the front door.
But that may present a problem to them. I'm just saying that because.
That's why I'm having you check it, okay?
Okay, I'll talk to him.
Okay.
All right, and the ZBA now. We talked about the ZBA today.
Yes, if you're going to pave this whole area,
Right.
and, you know, I'm going to, it's my opinion, I don't know, I'm not speaking for the board here, but I would like to see a little bit more than 5 feet for a buffer there between the property line and where you're gonna have pavement. You know, and just let it be a natural vegetative border, or if you take it all out when you're clearing the land, put something back. On this side, it's not as important to me because you've got the driveway that goes in
Yeah,
the
it's a
back.
road, right.
But on the other side, you've got a house that's relatively close.
They have a ton of vegetation and with
Well,
the
I know there
buildings
is, and I
there.
noticed they have some kind of a,
Fence
I
or
don't know if
something.
it was your fence or
No,
their
that's their
fence.
fence.
It's their fence, I
But
believe.
it's like, you know, right there, which
Right.
I know gives them privacy, but any kind of shrubbery that can be put over there will help deflect the noise from disturbing them. So, you know, and it could be you don't need that much over there, but I'm just saying, you know, 5 feet's not a very wide buffer.
No.
And, you know, just to, not that I'm trying to be obnoxious about this, but if you go to our site plan regs, it does state, oops, wrong thing. You know, that one of the things we do look for when we're doing these is open space, green spaces, and, you know, this is all part of it. So anything that you can give us, you know, to increase that, I think would be nice.
Okay, so what would you be happy with the setback?
Well, I would think, and of course, I'm not the ZBA, so right now I don't have that much of a say, but I would think at least 10 feet.
Okay.
You know, because 5 feet's just a little shorter than I am. Not that much.
And I don't think that's unreasonable to ask for that.
No, I mean, I can work with it.
Okay.
And, you know, Gus will help, you know, she can make the call to Eliza and see if we can get, you know, get you on their schedule, you know,
Okay.
this week, and, so that they can just take a look at it.
Okay, I'm good. You guys can, thank you. Unless somebody else has.
No, and I made the motion, did I? Or did
No.
No,
Not
no,
yet,
no.
okay, I'll make a motion to continue this case until 11/13 at 7 PM.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, John. We just want to see you again. That's
I
the
want
only
to
thing.
see you too, so I'm so happy.
Well, what would we do?
Wouldn't be a meeting without you, John.
Thank you.
If we can get you to move back into town, then we can get you on the board.
I
Sandy?
keep telling my wife I want to. I actually looked at a piece of property.
Yeah.
I thought you were threatening that, John, with
No, I
neighbors.
actually want to. I want to be involved. I'm thinking, I'm gonna be on every board there is. I'm here anyways.
She's a handified.
I've been on the ZBA until before.
Yes, you would.
Trouble is, you're being involved, you know, that's not what you want.
Yeah.
Oh, have to recuse yourself from everything because you'd be on.
You wouldn't be able to sit on. You're too busy.
Yes, thank you. It's been very good.
Thank you.
That's one back for mine.
You want that back? No, I'm gonna change it.
That's okay, thank you.
Have you signed it?
All right, we're right on schedule almost. Planning Board Case 1212, site plan review to open Subway shop in Town Line Plaza located at 630 West Main Street, Tilton, New Hampshire, in the General Commercial District. That's where Smitty's is, for anybody who may not know.
Tractor supply.
Hmm?
Tractor supply.
Tractor Supply, okay. You haven't gotten this letter yet, have you?
What's it say?
Letter from corporate that they've agreed to lease.
I believe, yes, it's in there. Yeah. And the person who owns the property is sitting right here.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hey.
Boy, this is old.
That is an old one, yeah.
surprised Tractor Supply had been there that long.
Yeah, how long has it been? Is it
Since I started, like
4 years?
2007, 2008, yeah.
4 years?
Yeah. When I started, you were just finishing up.
Those stores are popping up everywhere now.
What, Tractor Supply?
Tractor Supply.
Yeah, every other town you go into, they're there.
They do well, their stock
Subway
is
will
done
just be
very well.
using the western half
Should
of
be
that
west,
building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not now, it's at its top,
All
I
of
think.
that building.
Yeah, the other's the lending office.
Yeah, it was previously a movie gallery store that we built back in
Right.
2003,
Right,
and no one rents movies anymore.
right.
Too easy to get them now, jeez.
But people
Sit and
still
watch.
eat, right, Jim?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
No, everybody loves Subway sandwiches.
It's a great quick night supper.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's a
You wanna
great
discuss how I
quick
did my
supper.
meatballs?
That's what I had for
to
lunch
the
today,
bottom there.
Subway.
They said it was franchise wide,
Oh,
That's just the way.
for the week.
All right, has everybody had a chance to? Seems complete?
what?
That it seems complete?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we accept the site plan application as it appears to be substantially complete.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jackson Plinsky. I'm a professional engineer with Benchmark Engineering of Londonderry. This particular person is a client of ours. That's why we came up here a little further north than usual.
Thank you,
Anyway,
Jack.
This is a 8.3 acre commercial site, zone general commercial. It's right on Route 3. I'm sure you're very familiar with it. There's about 61,000 square feet of existing building here and 4,000 here. The objective here is to lease about 1,500 square feet of space to Subway, sandwiches and stuff like that, takeout. There is no improvements to exterior of the site proposed. The buildings are already there, so this is basically a change of use plan.
Right.
I guess I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Is this new demising wall, is that already in?
Yes. Yes.
It is. So we do have two separate.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, the utilities have been split up, the heating systems have been arranged for two separate stores now, and at considerable expense, but it's done.
And is that on town sewer?
Yes, it is.
And have you contacted the sewer to see what, if anything, is going to be required on the Subway part? I know in.
That comes under the restaurant codes and so forth.
Okay,
And
so as far as,
Jim will do
say,
that when
grease
he-
trap and
Yeah.
cleanup sinks and stuff?
Yeah, well, for the most part, Subway has a different load that it puts out, which means it doesn't put out any load. We don't put out grease, we don't bake, we don't fry.
Oh, I know you don't.
But regardless, we're happy to put in a grease trap if that's what's
Is
required.
Well, you need to contact the sewer
Sewer department.
department. That
Is
will be
that
part of your
Tilton sewer or
condition.
is
Yes.
that Franklin?
Tilton,
It is Tilton.
yes.
Yes, they very much, so you need to contact the sewer department.
Which we did when we put in the store at Belknap, and so it was
Right.
we went through the Franklin Regional wastewater.
Yes,
That was not an
but,
issue.
anyway, Gus can give you the local sewer, the town sewer department and the number, and just call and verify what you need or don't need.
Wonderful.
We'll make that.
And is
part
that
of your
town water?
Is it that town water?
Yes, that is. That's the front store, the movie gallery store, is the only part of that plaza that has Tilton Town water. The rest of the plaza is fed off of a well.
Okay.
And at some
So the
point,
Subway would be connected to the Tilton Town water?
yes, yes. some point, I would like to be able to connect the water to the plaza for, drinking and for fire protection. Because
Right.
we have a big cistern now under the Mr. G's store. And that's, obviously filled with water, and we have to have pumps and all that stuff, so.
So you'll need to contact the water department there and let them know.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Water. And I know it sounds silly, you wouldn't think you'd have to, but you need to contact DOT, and you're going to amend your curb cut. That is just going to show that you're now getting 2 stores instead of 1 in that location. And although it doesn't require anything, they do want to be notified anytime there's any changes. So, do it.
Jack, you take care of that?
Sure.
It's just a simple, you fill out the application, just letting them know that you not enlarged, but you've created 2 stores in 1, and whether or not you feel if there's any increase in traffic, that's really what they're looking for.
I'm familiar with the process.
Okay, so, and may I ask, you say a lending institution on the other side, what is that?
It's Title Cash is the name of it, I believe. And they bring them the title to your car,
And
and
they
they'll,
give you money.
they'll loan you money on it. And
Okay,
Now, is that already started, or is that something that we can expect to be presented with soon?
no, that's already started. That's
that's started, once we approve this, and the stores can come in and out if they're not making changes.
yeah.
Okay, application. City Commission water.
And there is already parking designated there.
Yes.
Yes.
I know, I used to rent movies there.
Yeah.
That was a statement, I know that there are already parking there.
Signage on the buildings, I assume each side's gonna have a sign of some kind?
Yes, they'll come to you or whoever makes the decisions on
Code
signage.
enforcement.
Yeah, code enforcement.
Get
yeah.
sign permits.
Yeah.
And is the lighting gonna change?
No.
Are you putting them on the marquee too?
On the front of the building?
No, on the big marquee. On
There's 2, yes, there'll be 2 little spaces there for them,
Okay.
yeah, on the sign, in the big sign.
And of course, being Subway, I'm sure you don't have to ask, but for the record, you have all your state permits that are required for the store?
Yes, this is a store relocation, it's already
Yep.
in operation, the one in Franklin. We're just looking for a larger venue so people can sit down.
Okay.
That's just what I was gonna ask, are you gonna have seating in there?
Exactly, yeah.
So, I don't even know if this falls under us, but is there a public restroom? Does there need to be a public
There
restroom?
will be 2.
There are
Yes.
2.
It shows on here,
Yeah, but there's a wall here, so it shows.
No, but
Well,
there's one on each side.
yeah.
Right, but it just looks like the
Yeah,
one in the
so,
back
so
looks.
what you see is probably just one, but actually, we will be putting in the second bathroom.
Okay.
And where is that going to be? In the same area?
Yes.
I just think whatever,
Oh, I see, here it is.
Yeah.
The back
Yeah,
page.
I know, but there's one that goes this way,
Right.
into this 2,500 square
Yeah.
foot space.
Yeah,
And then there's one here, but it looks like it's behind the second door, and it just,
Well, we'll probably relocate the bathrooms,
okay.
according to the Subway layout for that.
Well, I just didn't know if it's a health requirement.
I believe what it is if we have up to 24 seats, you need 1 bathroom, but more than 24, you need 2, I think,
I think that's it too.
something like that. But there'll be 2 bathrooms, ADA compliant,
okay, 2 bathrooms, so what we're seeing there is not accurate.
correct. Might be as it is right now, before I take possession.
They're showing on this sheet.
Yeah.
Yes, I know, but you're
Yeah,
saying it's gonna be different than that.
Yeah, so that's before I take
It is,
possession.
It is going to be different?
Yeah, but,
Okay, I thought this was your proposal for what it was going to be.
well, the space is what's gonna be.
But there is.
But I mean, typically planning boards don't actually review the interior
So
partitions and stuff.
you are planning on putting in some additional bathrooms.
But,
Okay.
Okay, Okay, so when you have your final building plan, the way the building is going to look, then you'll give a set of plans to the town so that we know what's in,
So,
okay?
Yeah, you'll have to come and get a building permit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you have a question?
Okay, nothing's changing outside.
We just did repaint the whole building too.
Yeah, well, I don't.
Just so you
not-
know.
Right.
I'm glad to see something going in there.
Me
I
too.
have no further questions.
I'm sure you are, it's been vacant quite a while.
It has been,
It
yeah.
was funny, I went in there the other day and was just wondering when something was going, and then I got this, and so,
Yeah.
Be nice having Subway closer.
Take them away from Franklin.
Yeah.
that's the one, the Citgo station, right? That's where my lunch today came.
Ah,
Oh, that was you.
yeah.
That was me.
The only customer of the day.
You have a dumpster in the back here in the chain area, chain fence area?
Yeah.
Any other questions? Anybody from the public here? No?
No,
I
no.
know you just walked in, so I'm not sure what.
Not for that, as I say, I think you've already
Okay,
handled what I was gonna come for anyway, but
okay.
I'm just saying in out to be polite.
Okay.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve the site plan for the Subway shop in the Town Line Plaza, and also as part of that to approve a plan for splitting the building into 2 stores. And approve all this with the following conditions. When you have your final building plan, that the town receive a copy showing, you know, where the bathrooms and everything are. Also to compliance with state fire codes, an updated DOT curb cut, letting them know the difference in the plaza. Also to contact the sewer for the application and whatever conditions they're going to require, and the water company, notify them. And I don't know, do you know, Gus, do they have an application program or?
For the water company?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I don't think they do, but they do want to be notified.
yes, they do want to be notified. And any state codes, permits that are required in order to run your restaurant, or your eating place, I guess I should say.
Which includes, I believe, contacting the fire department.
Right, and, well, I've already put it down anyways.
Okay.
And also compliance with the Tilton signage regulations.
Do you want to come up with a date for continuance?
No,
No, we don't.
So we don't have to see the other arrangement for the bathroom.
no, the code enforcement officer will get a copy of that, so. And it's my motion and
Is there a
conditions.
second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Were you looking to open?
Subway, eat fresh.
Soon, I hope.
See you in about 7 years, Alberta, see you in 7 years.
I'd be happy to have a subway down the street.
Yeah, it's right down the street from us, isn't
No,
it?
thanks.
Good, thank you,
Now,
Jack.
Hey,
just call you tomorrow morning.
Call me in the morning and we'll go over it. Okay, I'll give you the numbers. Okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Enjoy.
Have it if you want.
Enjoy, bye.
Thank you, Bob.
You work of art. put it in your house.
Congratulations.
Yeah, do your
Yes,
five
thank
for
you.
You got
five
the key
again.
already, right?
Yes.
You get the key and you're in and out of there.
Yes.
Have a boatload of five.
Been by a few times and just make sure
Sandy, you know what I
it's all
forgot to
good,
do was
so
open the
we'll,
front door.
get the contract
What?
I forgot to open the front door.
Yes, I know.
I'm sorry.
It's like, wow, hope I
And I got your,
Absolutely.
and I got your text
I
message.
did, I forgot to open the front door.
I
Oh,
thought
the
you
front door.
door
would be shut.
Hmm?
I figured the front door would be shut, so I came in.
Well, good thing.
Been on a long flight.
Our other case is in here.
I got it.
Are we early?
We're a little bit.
Yeah,
We're a little bit early.
Yeah.
But we can take a stretch break.
Yeah. I mean, the Grange roadside. He's in the process now of installing the earthen berm, and he will have shrubbery along there as well. That'll keep cars from pulling on Grange Road and then just whipping right in.
And that was a DOT requirement, I believe,
Yes.
Yeah, they did have something, but I don't think.
Some
it
kind
went-
of barrier, that's
Right.
what they said.
Yes, some kind
That's
of.
what
To
DOT
delineate
said.
the driveway.
Right.
Right, and that, he is doing that now, from what he said tonight. So it's just number two, he's really looking for guidance from the board on exactly what he's supposed to do with that.
I think shrubbery would be appropriate, if anything.
Yeah.
In front of the building. What do you, the rest of you think?
I agree,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I
fine.
think, you know, if there were no berms there, I mean, no retaining walls, then I would think, well, a berm would be a good
I think
idea.
that part of that building is already, that wall is already elevated, so
Yeah.
if someone's gonna drive there,
Yeah,
they'll crash their front end anyway.
Yeah.
There's
So,
issues.
I would say, you know, I get the consensus, Gus, from our discussion that to run some shrubbery along the front, you know, and have, you know, maybe something around the,
some kind of
Is-
visible
Is,
barrier.
is the traffic gonna go around the front of that building
Could
to
be a-
exit?
It could even be a.
no, it
a
can't
little-
get around front.
No, he can't.
Oh, it can't. Oh, okay, I wasn't
Can
sure.
we,
No.
can we have the town give him the trees off Main Street?
There's trees on Main Street.
Transplant them over there.
Just plant them along the.
Here's a
plant 'em-
plan if you wanna see it. See, this was the, you know, the parking, but now we've got a retaining wall there, and this one is already there. It has been for quite some time. And this one comes like this and up this corner. Now, he did go to the ZBA and he got approval for this one, a variance to put this one in. So that means there's gonna be retaining walls in front of both of these, so even if they wanted, there's no chance the
I think
cars.
there's still some type of wall all the way along the front of the building.
There is,
There is.
there is a very,
So really.
very substantial wall.
And
across
he's
there.
showing a landscape area, so if we just say landscape across the front and, you know, maybe even a couple of shrubs across there, you know, and that's really
And I
enough.
think some of the problems we had back here with this line here not being where it was supposed to be,
Well, that's,
was
yeah.
simply happened because somebody made the mistake of measuring from the inside of the wall along the highway
Yeah,
and assuming that was the property line. And the property line, of course, is probably 3 feet further out than that because of the style of the wall.
right
Which-
here is the
which-
property lines. See, that runs along, and his retaining wall is right on the property
And
line.
And the property line,
That's
the
right.
end, that
But
was the
the-
end
but
of the
the-
property line.
But the inside of that wall,
Yeah,
at the top of the wall,
Yep.
is probably 3 feet inside of the property line because of the construction of it.
Well,
It
it
is
may
it is a stepped-in wall.
right, yeah.
And the inside of that wall is a long way, a significant distance from the actual property line.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when they were measuring space up here for the parking lot and stuff, they were measuring from the inside of the wall and considering that to be from the property line, which it wasn't.
Well, the original property line was from a stone wall, not
Right,
from the,
right.
was from a stone wall that was removed when the retaining wall was put in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the only thing we've got left now is the correspondence.
Yep.
All right, we have, notice of a Belmont Planning Board meeting on Monday, the 22nd of October. and they're gonna have an informal discussion of Winnisquam Marine, so I don't know if that's why I got this or not.
No, we just get them and I put
Okay.
them in.
Then we have the budget report for the Lakes Region Planning Commission for 2013-14. If anybody wants to review that. We have a driveway permit for Lisa Swamscott.
Yep.
All right.
She paved her
That's
driveway.
14 Winter Street. I thought we had this one, this was in last.
She had an application,
Okay.
that's the.
All right, this is the approval,
Right.
okay. Is that the corner house?
Not
No.
the corner one.
Next one up.
Next one up.
Okay,
She just had her driveway paved, that's why there's a new one in there.
all right. And next is another driveway permit and approval for Lisa Swamscott.
You know, she has two driveways and one's entrance,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then a land use board member, a refresher on basics. It's gonna be Saturday, October 22nd, 7th, at the local government center.
I got mine down in case you didn't have one in there.
Okay.
I made copies,
All
I
right.
believe I made copies for everybody if they
Yeah.
wanted them.
So,
I have to schedule by the
you have to-
19th or something?
Yeah, you
Is
have
that
to
Okay, is
schedule
that
it.
what it is? I was gonna.
No, I think you have to register by the
You have
19th,
to register by
Yes.
the
Yeah.
19th.
When is it?
Space is limited.
Yeah,
22nd.
27th.
it's on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, I think I got more
That's why I
there,
sent
Jane,
all
if
the-
he wants to
that's
take a
cleanup
copy of
day.
it. I think I made several copies so
Dump
that,
day.
Eric, do you want one?
No, it's dump day, I'm ready to go.
don't
Alright.
they, okay.
Well, it's just before election, I'm gonna be out of my tree, so.
I'm headed for,
I don't
So-
know, is that something we need
The
to?
next one,
Yes, it's down in Concord.
next one is a driveway permit for
Costs
John
45
Bernard
bucks.
for,
Not to you, the town.
the town will pay that.
cost.
Yeah, so
for his
October
auto
27th.
sales.
is that for 216 Coney Road?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he was wondering if we got.
Yeah,
And yes,
and
we
I,
did
yeah,
get
and
it,
I,
okay.
why don't you give it to me, I'll put it in this folder. And
All
I'll
right,
ha-
John was just asking about
Yeah,
that, so if anybody.
We did get it. I
This
just
local
remember,
government
we've
center
been busy.
is where?
The local, you know where, Del Monte, Road, where Home Depot is?
Behind Home Depot in Concord.
You know where the Home Depot is in Concord?
Up on the heights,
Yes.
Steeplegate Mall.
Okay, well, if you just go past Home Depot, you'll have a little side road there. What's the name of that?
Side
Triangle.
Triangle Drive.
Yeah.
And right after you get past Home Depot, you'll see a building right there on the right, and that's the government center.
This is government center.
It's pretty nice there. They have, they'll have like a little pre-breakfast thing. They usually have fruit and bagels and
Coffee and juices.
so, but you have to if you're interested in going, if you call Catherine Wozner, the secretary here,
Mhm.
she'll make all the arrangements.
Okay. You going?
I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I don't know.
I don't know yet. I didn't speak without my date book.
It's kind of basic information. I don't know if I need to go.
Dan, Gus made a copy of the
No,
DVD.
that's the
Are you
one,
going?
It's just before election, it's the last weekend before election, I can't possibly.
Jane, that is the original.
Okay.
I will make copies if people want
Okay.
them.
I'll take you.
Dan Crean's
All right,
lecture,
well, I'll see. I don't wanna, sorry.
Dan Crean's lecture series. A DVD, Gus will make us copies if we want one.
I'll take one.
I
Okay,
want
I'll
one.
get, I'll get you copies.
I would say make
Thank
one
you.
for everybody,
Okay,
okay?
okay. I just don't wanna let the original out.
I
Then it will
understand.
never come back.
That's right.
I totally agree.
So okay, make copies, okay.
Did you get cards from Mr. Lacasse from Sherryland the last time?
Did I get a card?
Did you get his business card?
Yes.
Would you please give, because I can't find mine, I was going to give it to Judy Tilton. Would you give Judy Tilton his telephone number and so she can get in touch with him?
I don't know. Did I?
Okay.
He has certain requirements.
Well, he has
to
certain
follow
requirements that she wants to tell him
I
about.
wanna make sure that he's okay, so he doesn't get caught in that bad place.
Okay.
Okay?
It's a little different when you're buying a mobile home park than when you're buying
Oh,
a regular
okay.
property.
She just wants to,
Ta-da,
Okay.
here, I got one right here.
So
Okay,
I don't
good.
want him to,
Oh,
I'll just take the
write
number
down
off
his
it.
number, cause it's got other numbers on the back that I need.
oh,
Um,
anybody interesting?
so Judy,
Oh, I got
Judy
hers.
wanted to know what she missed, and I was filling her in. And I said, she said she'd like to get in touch with him, and I think that's a good idea, because
Okay.
she's been through that.
I
All right,
think
the
you want a
next
mobile
is,
home park.
this is, driveway permit
Yeah, I'll just
for
put
Benjamin Lacasse at Vista Heights,
A different Lacasse.
a different one.
That's a Tilton.
Yeah, this is a Tilton one. This is just the, it's the application. Okay. And then, here's a FEMA floodplain layer. It's actually flood lines, it's a little brochure for your reading if you'd like to read that. And that's all I have.
That's lovely.
That's the fastest meeting we've had in a long time, isn't it?
Thank goodness.
There you go.
I know.
Thank you.
Would anybody like to say anything exciting?
I'd like to make a movement to adjourn.
That's exciting. That's exciting, Eric.
That's exciting. This is, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah. Where's Rich?
There you go.
He had to work.
There you go.
Hmm?
Oh, I think that's one of the days we have off from school.
What's that?
There you go. There you go.
What is this?
Of course I don't.
Bus trip from Mohegan Sun,
When?
But
When?
October 26th.
26?
are you all done
October
here?
26th?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to go, but I'm headed for the islands. I can't take any more time off.
You all done with the animals in the park?
No,
And I can't go to this one either because of the election.
well, that's okay.
I was gonna
Just put it
say,
in
I
the-
know I've got
put it
something
in
on
the,
the
yeah.
calendar for the 26th,
Put it
I
in
just
senior
don't
center,
know what it
see what
is.
happens.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
later on, when you have other trips, I might
The
go.
polls election day.
Huh?
Did you put one up at the Pines?
No, I'm going to.
Oh, yes.
This is my sore subject. Here,
Yeah.
Can you put those in the
Say, we
senior
used to
center?
go there with the.
No, I always,
How big of a bus do you have?
44 passenger?
44 passengers? Someday I'd love to go
Oh,
up
yeah,
and
we
meet.
do stop and come.
yeah,
Do you?
Yeah, we stop at the bus station.
we go,
Oh, so good.